What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? Well, I hope you enjoyed part one of the Pandrol Jackson 6700 build for Dave from the CCRX 6700 YouTube channel. Make sure you go to the description and check out his link to go to his webpage and see all his great videos. Alright, I bring you part two of the Pandrol Jackson HO scale 6700. Hope you enjoy it. Pappy out. Alright, so in part two, we will start. Last video I said I had to install this X-brace right here. Well, you can see I went ahead and installed it. Turned out pretty well. The problem with doing some of this on the camera is a lot of these parts are bent or misaligned, you know, TriGogglin. So like these little fingers here for the bracing, you know, they were pretty bent in. So I had to start down here, get this glued in, and then bend these portions out to make sure they were aligned. And then you got to try not to bend the rest of the model when you're applying pressure. So that went in pretty well. Now we're going to install the cab deck. And these holes are for the seats. So the cab deck was the same way. It didn't fit in there. So I had to massage everything, make sure it was all straight. And a lot of that was bent up. So this one I'm pretty sure I can just use the regular super glue instead of the gel. So I will go ahead and line some on here. You don't really need a whole lot, I've found out. It does pretty well on its own. I just touch it barely and let it kind of flow on there. Spread it out a bit. Put a little bit where it touches. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. So that should do pretty well there. Just got to let that dry. Doesn't take too long. I might move ahead on. Got to figure out this cab here. One of them was broken. So I did glue it. You probably can't see it on camera, but this door frame was broken. So I had to glue this frame back together. And it's meant to angle up against this cab. So I got to make sure that the cab is lined up. Not bent this way or bent that way. So like I said, we'll go ahead and let this dry up pretty good. And I'll continue on with some progress. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and fit the sidewalls. But that front cab window right there, that was a bear, because it had to be, this piece actually did have to be bent to make sure it fit the angle of the cab. I don't know if you can see it in there, but that's bent because it has to be. I'm going to go ahead and do this side cab here. This is one good spot for the gel, because the gel dries really quick. It works out just fine. Kind of like the gel too, because once you put it there, it stays in place. That's the other spot, like if you're working on something that you need to rearrange, the liquid works out good because you can keep moving it around. But this gel, oh my goodness, it sticks like right now. So don't use the gel if you need to move it around. Because like I said, right there, it's stuck already. Woo! That is a fit and finish right there. So as you can see, I'm going to have to massage the top of that door right there. It's a little bent. But we'll work on that when we get that other one. See, you have to make sure the angle of that cab fits the angle just right on there. So I had to actually bend this up and down a little bit. That looks like a good, yeah, that'll work. That's a little out of whack. There we go. All right, we'll let that dry and go from the next piece. Making a little bit of progress here. Got the cab done. Now it wants me to put the seats in. Here's the seats. So it wants me to go ahead and put those in there. They go right in those holes. But if I do that, everything is going to be painted the same color. So I'm going to leave the roof off. When I'm done painting, I will put the seats in and then secure the roof. But I have the engine mount, or the engine housing is on. Now we're going to go ahead and mount the wheels. Probably easier said than done, but let's find out. So the wheel sets have a cutout for the wheels to go into. A little notch right there. Make sure they're lined up with the cutouts. Yep. And the front wheel goes right up here. It's got a notch that it sits on. You just got to make sure it's lined up. Nice and flush. Yep. A little bit off. Alright. So we got the wheels mounted. I'll let that dry a little bit. I can start on the derail bars. Yeah, it's coming along pretty good. Usually don't take too long for this stuff to dry. So I went ahead and did a little work since the derail bars. So I got the derail bars installed. One's there, one's over here. Went ahead and put the fuel tank on. The hydraulic oil tanks on. And then after that, I moved on to the little trolley carriers up front. Right up here. Trolley hooks onto those. After that, we moved on to the laser center uprights right here. And then we did the jacking beams, the hydraulic cylinders, and the jacking beam trolley. But what I ended up doing is I'm mounting everything in the upright position, like travel mode. Because some of this stuff's getting bent, moved around, and I'm going to sit it on a piece of track on display anyway. So, but yeah. Made a little bit of progress. And now we're going to put on the mass follower. Once we install that, we'll see what else we need to move on to. So we'll install that real quick. Oh, wrong one. Don't want that glue. I want this glue. Almost put the wrong glue on. Like I said, I'm putting everything in the upright position, travel mode basically. It's working out pretty well. I mean, it started out rough, all the holes you had to drill. But now that it's coming together, looking pretty cool. I'm digging it. There you go. Let's move on to the next step. So the next step is installing the air tanks. And that's probably going to be a bear, because it's a tiny little hole and a tiny little air tank. So let's see how well I pull this off. I did have to drill holes in it for the air lines. Watch me drop this on the carpet and won't be able to find it. See that tiny little nubbin right there? Got to go into that hole. Yeah. Now I pre-drilled all these holes, but I did not test fit it. So it's probably going to be my downfall. Nope, went right in. Whoops. Went in and right back out. Can't imagine doing this one in N scale. There, oh, I'm stuck to my tweezers. There we, oh my goodness, look at that. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. A bear. That's part of the reason I haven't really filmed a lot of this building. Some of this stuff has been, you know, you get it on, it falls off. You get it on, it falls off. Did I actually get it this time? Yes, I did. Look at that. One air tank. Now, I did pre-drill a hole in the top of that. There's supposed to be an air line coming out of that. You can see that tiny little hole. Let's get the other one on the other side. Sure, I got the hole up. Yep, there's the hole. Let's say, watch me put it on upside down, and me drilling that hole was for nothing. Come on. Yeah. Hey, oh, once again, stuck to my tweezers. Yeah. Now you see why I have not did too much filming. And sometimes the part sticks to my tweezer and then it comes right back off. Get super glue everywhere. Wow. There we go. I got it that time. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to continue on off camera, because now I have to do the tamper head assemblies with the tamper points, and there's a lot of little tiny holes I got to deal with, so that's not going to be fun film watching for you guys. So I'll go ahead and put some tamper heads and some tamper points on. Maybe I'll actually wrap this model up and see what the finished product, and then I'll have to paint it. But well, this video is getting a little long, so let's see what we come up with in the next episode or next section here. Okay, here we go. I went ahead and assembled the laser buggy, the laser trolley. It hangs right on front here. So that is the travel position for the laser buggy. The tamper heads and tamper points are all finished. As you can see, I had to insert all these brass rods to represent the hydraulic piston rod. Those will eventually be painted anyway yellow, and that's the problem with this model. is they want you to assemble the entire thing and then paint it. The problem I have with that is these will be mounted 2 inside and 2 on the outsides, and you have to attach hydraulic lines and hoses. And if you do all that ahead of time and then paint it yellow, every single thing will be yellow and you'll lose all the detail. So I'm going to go ahead and paint these first. I'll probably end up finish everything on here, get it all painted, then install the hydraulic lines. That way you see all the black hoses and air lines going everywhere. Plus, like I said, they wanted you to attach this cab roof after the seats were put in, but then if you attach it, this would all be unpainted and the seats would be unpainted. So yeah, there's a few little things on the instructions I didn't like that I'm taking liberty on myself, because I want the hydraulic line details. And I think Dave's going to have this on a static display anyway, so why not have it looking, you know, detailed with the hydraulic lines inside the cab. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I'm going to complete the little details that are left, paint everything, and then do all the hydraulic lines. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Tamper 6700 build so far. We'll go ahead and end this video here. Stay tuned for part 3. Until then, happy modeling. Pappy out.